Kachina?
Oh, hey. I had some time on my hands, so I decided to bring Io over to check on Melray and Nyan. Don't worry. Everything's gonna be fine. Huh? What makes you ask?
Well, you seemed a bit down after the exhibition match, so we're kinda worried about you.
Thanks, Traveler and Paimon. I'm okay, really. I mean, it's hard to explain. I've just been feeling a bit lost. Despite losing the pilgrimage so many times, what kept me going was the belief that someday I'd win and earn a spot in the Night Warden Wars. So when I finally did, I was over the moon. I mean, things didn't exactly go as planned, and you and the others had to rescue me from the Night Kingdom. Still, I achieved my dream. But after the happiness wore off, I felt hollow. I didn't know what to aim for next, or what I should work toward. Then the Bloomflower trials came around, and I could fight alongside everyone again. But when the exhibition match ended, I suddenly realized that everyone had real-life responsibilities to return to. Everyone, that is, except for me. And that got me thinking, am I the only one who's still like a kid? The only one who's left with so much free time on their hands? Who's never really grown up?
So that's what's been bothering you, huh?
Huh? You mean everyone feels like this at some point? I thought it was just because I hadn't been working hard enough. Oh, I see. Thank you, Traveler.
Huh. If you think about it, this is a good thing. Not knowing what you want means the future's still full of possibilities, right? When Paimon can't decide what she wants for dinner, she gets to imagine all kinds of delicious dishes. But if someone told her, "You're eating this tonight," kinda spoils the anticipation.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Hey! Stop underestimating Paimon like that, would ya?
Oh, looks like you guys beat me to it. Is the little guy feeling any better?
Granny C. Lolly! Hello!
Hello. I didn't have much going on at the moment, so I thought I'd check in on our patient.
Melray's been in a deep sleep this whole time. It's just as Aoife said. We'll need to gather all the sacred flame crystals before we can help him.
I imagine you're right. By the way, you haven't run into any trouble lately, have you? When we discussed the sacred flame crystals after the exhibition match ended, everyone else looked happy. But you seem to have something on your mind. A baseless rumor, but a fearful-sounding one all the same. Fear stems from the unknown, so the more cryptic the hearsay, the more panic it spreads.
Wait, are the crystals actually dangerous? Then what about Melray?
Mawika was right. Even if trouble does come our way, she'll handle it. Still, there must be a story behind the Bloomflower trials being stopped. It is said that something happened the last time they were held. Since you're concerned, why don't we look into it? I'm sure we'll still be able to find scrolls from back then over at the Masters of the Nightwind.
Can I come along? I'd like to help.
I don't see why not. Come, let's head over to my place. We should leave this little Tapetlosaur to rest. someone gather up all the woven scrolls from that era. Maybe we'll find some leads we can follow.
There's that many?
Oh, this is gonna take forever.
Come on. Less whining, more reading. If we split them up, we'll finish in no time. Why have you stopped? Did you notice something strange? There will always be tensions. But the intensity has changed. Usually the Pyro Archon tries their best to prevent intertribal disputes from escalating. But not every Archon has done that as well as Mawika. Also, given that our Archons live only as long as mortals, the transitional periods can be fraught with challenges. Far fewer conflicts have ended in bloodshed over the past few centuries. Whenever I read through these scrolls, I too am always struck by the thought of how unimaginable our lives would seem to people back then.
Hey, come check this out. This one seems to mention the Bloomflower trials.
Oh? Let me see. A curious coincidence indeed. It seems like the last Bloomflower trials were also held to save the life of an ailing Saurian.
Huh? Was it the same illness as Milrace?
The scroll doesn't say, but it seems likely. Strange. It's very unusual for such records to be so sparse on details. The scroll only vaguely alludes to two things. Firstly, that the Bloomflower trials were held to save a sick little Saurian. Secondly, that they seemed to have failed. And that the chief of the Flower Feather clan had a major falling out with his younger brother. And later on, his brother left the tribe and lived as a recluse. That's all it says.
But that basically tells us nothing! You know, except that the person who weaved this scroll must have been slacking off on the job.
Sacred flame crystals having the power to beguile human hearts. Is this where that's from? Looks like we'll have to approach this from another angle. I'll go take a look through some even older scrolls. Surely the trials were held more than once.
Seeing as that scroll just now mentioned the Flower Feather clan, I think I could go ask Chief Butota.
And what's our next move? Any other leads we can follow?
A certain Kukasaur? Who told you that? Oh, Aoife's assistant Kakuku must have told you, right? I heard he sometimes translates for the other Saurians. Alright then. I'll look into those ancient scrolls, Kachina can head over to the Flower Feather clan, and you two can track down that Kukasaur. Let's split up and meet back here later.
Feeling hungry? I just picked these from the orchard. Go on, have some. Taking care of a patient like you're doing is hard work. Don't wear yourself out with worry, okay? If you need more, there's plenty more where that came from. Shh. So, everyone got that? They'll never see this coming. We'll catch them totally off guard.
Leave it to us. We'll show them what we're made of.
Mualani, Kanich, what are you doing here?
Oh, Traveler, Paimon, it's you! You nearly scared the life out of me! Just between us, we're discussing our strategy for the next half of the exhibition match. But as for the details, those will have to stay a secret. After all, we'll be competing against you this time.
What about you guys? You seem like you're in a hurry. Has something happened?
We're on the trail of an extremely rare and elusive cuckoosaur.
Rare and elusive? In that case, we can help with the search. That description of the location's way too vague. The scenery around here is all pretty much the same. Without anyone to help out, it'll take you forever. What does the cuckoosaur look like? Nothing more specific than that? Alright, well in that case, let's split up.
I'll check the higher ground and see if anyone over at the Flower Feather clan has any ideas.
I'll follow the river then.
Sounds like it's my time to shine. As Kanich will tell you, I'm a born hunter with the eyes of a hawk.
I haven't got anywhere else to be either. I'll take a stroll nearby and see if I can spot anything.
Awesome, thanks everyone!
Don't mention it. Anyway, we'd better get going. Catch you in a bit. Anything on your end, Kanich?
Nope.
Me neither. Kukasaurs all look so similar. They all look light and floaty to me. I mean, what could possibly be lighter and floatier than a pair of wings?
I didn't find anything either. How about you guys?
Sorry, Traveler and Paimon. We couldn't find that Kukasaur you're after. Are you in a hurry to find him? If you need a hand, I can come back and join the search again tomorrow. Okay, well, if you need any help, don't hesitate to reach out. That's what friends are for, after all.
I've told my friends over at the Flower Feather Clan to keep an eye out. If they see anything, they'll let you know. So, what's your next move? Alright, I'll update them.
Come to think of it, Auroron could probably rig up a few traps and snag him that way.
It's not like Auroran's traps can catch just anything, you know.
You never know. Might as well ask him if you get the chance. Anyway, we'll be heading back now. Best of luck!
Okay then, see you later! And thanks for your help!
Let me think.
Kachina, St. Lolly, what's up?
We haven't managed to find anything. No one seems to know what actually happened back then.
Any luck with your mysterious Kukasaur? In that case, I'd suggest we set this aside for now. It would be great if we could get to the bottom of this, but not every historical mystery can be unraveled. We must also learn to live with the unknown. Just remember, as long as we stick together, no challenge will ever be too great.
Yeah, I'm sure everything will work out. Still, after all this investigating, it feels a bit disappointing to come up empty-handed.
Finally, dudes. Found you.
Aoife, what brings you here?
Kanich mentioned you were on the lookout for a Kukasaur. Just so happens a strange Kukasaur has been following me the past few days. No clue why, but this dude's been on my tail ever since I got back from the Children of Echoes. Not gonna lie to you, bro, it's kinda freaky. His footsteps are totally silent, and after dark, all you can see is a silhouette. So I didn't even realize he was there until Kakuku suddenly flipped out last night when he went for a drink. His squawking woke me up, and that's when I finally spotted a shadowy shape outside the window.
That sounds terrifying!
I could tell it was a little Kukasaur from the shape. After observing him more closely, I figured out that he'd been following me the whole time, but that he'd just been too quiet to notice. Not sure if that's the dude you're looking for, but if so, you're more than welcome to get him off my back. The sooner the better.
Wait a second. Does that mean...
Yep, dude's probably hiding right behind that tree.
Do you think we should send someone over to take a look?
It's okay, I've got this. What the... How is that even... Guys, get over here, quick! There's nothing scary about this. It's just...
Wait, surely that's not...
to the ley lines? Haven't they been fixed?
There are many possible reasons, but right now it seems that our priority is...
So why have you been tailing me, bro? If it's treatment you want, can't do much for you, man. Sorry.
He ran off.
Do you think he wants us to follow him? Oh, if only we had a Kukathosaurus on hand.
Hey, that's a good point. Where is Kakuku today?
He was so spooked last night that he rattled through every single word he's ever learned and then fainted. He was still out cold when I left.
All right, enough chit-chat. Let's just follow him. It looks like he wants to take us somewhere.
Looks like he's finally stopped.
Why have you brought us here?
So, is there something buried here, or what? You want us to dig it up?
These are...
Woven scrolls, yes. Albeit very crudely made and heavily time-worn as a result. Still, they're just about legible. They seem to document the very last Bloomflower trials that took place centuries ago? But why would these be here? Come, let's read them together. These might just contain the answers we've been searching for this whole time.
So, have you figured out a way to save him?
Indeed, I have. As far as I can tell, we need ocean zephyrs and sacred flame crystals. That's about it.
That's great news. Don't worry, little guy. You'll be better in no time.
Well, it's not every day that the chief himself drops by to check in on your saurian buddy. Not so busy these days, huh?
You know I'd come even if I was. You're my brother, man. I heard you've been beside yourself since Antu fell ill, so I was worried about you.
I mean, Antu means the world to me. I promised to stay by his side until the day he's fully grown, ready to spread his wings and soar freely through the skies. I mean, with him around, I've never felt lonely traveling through Natlan. Sometimes he's happy, and other times he's sad. Sometimes he has tantrums, but then he'll curl up beside me when I'm down. And right now, he needs me more than ever. I'll draw upon everything I've ever learned to help him get through this.
I salute your courage and wisdom, brother. But these sacred flame crystals you mentioned, are you sure they'll do the job?
Well, I've studied the essence of the sacred flame and read various related scrolls. Sacred flame crystals are born from intertribal conflict. Back when the tribes were somewhat united, they would occasionally hold Bloomflower trials in order to obtain them.
Seems like I've still got lots to learn, despite being chief. So, how can we use them? Is it really worth holding a whole competition just to get our hands on some?
Research on sacred flame crystals has been patchy to say the least, so there's never been a definitive conclusion. What we know for sure is that they can be used to treat certain chronic phlogiston-related illnesses. Others also say that they can be used to enhance a warrior's strength or something.
enhance a warrior's strength?
It's speculative at best. We need to analyze an actual specimen to know for sure. As far as I'm concerned, as long as they can be used to cure Antu's illness, that's enough. Nothing else matters.
So you asked the chiefs of all the tribes to send people to take part in a scaled-down version of the Bloomflower trials? Remarkable that they agreed, given it wasn't so long ago that we were at each other's throats. Tensions are running high right now. If I were you, I wouldn't have had the courage to even ask.
I know, but I had no other choice. Fortunately, I've treated patients from every tribe, so the chiefs agreed as a way of returning the favor. With all this ongoing strife, it's been a long time since we've worked together on anything. This might be a good chance for reconciliation. Fighting side by side for a common cause, that's the way Natlan was always meant to be.
Let's hope so. By the way, what's with all this baggage? Heading out on a long journey or something?
I'm heading out to search for ocean zephyrs. In the meantime, I'll leave the trials in your capable hands. Just please make sure it all goes smoothly.
Come on, that goes without saying. Rest assured, I'm your brother after all.
Thank you. And Antu, be good while I'm gone, okay? Once I return with the ingredients, you'll be back on your feet and running around in no time.
Himara! How could you stoop so low, ambushing us on the field like that?
Ambushing? You've no one but yourself to blame for underestimating us. So what's all this fuss about?
Even if that was remotely true, your guys went way over the line. 7 of our warriors were so badly injured that they're still out cold as we speak. The Flowerfeather clan must compensate us for our losses. Hand over the sacred flame crystals.
And what, we'll hand him over after all that? Just because you waggled some fingers and said some angry words?
Didn't you claim that we're holding these trials to save a sick Saurian? Take what's necessary for the treatment, then return us the rest.
Say something, Amara. We're not leaving until you give us some answers.
If the other elders were here, they wouldn't waste their time on such puerile questions. If anything, I just wish we'd managed to collect more crystals. There are always people who think they're so clever. So many contestants were just pocketing the ones they got in the trials. I'll bet your chiefs all have sweet little personal stashes too, huh? Everyone was in a frenzy, snatching the crystals up wherever and whenever they could. We're hardly the only winners. I wouldn't even call us the biggest ones.
You what?
I get it now. Snatching the spoils while using the Bloomflower trials to weaken the other tribes. You planned this all along. Ugh, that Nampol. Can't believe I trusted him.
The children of Echoes will not forget this. Let's go!
Brother, where's Antu?
Oh, you're back. Come, sit down. I'll explain everything.
Look, no need for that. I only came back to ask. Are the rumors true?
Rumors? What rumors?
That the Bloomflower trials spiraled into an all-out bloodbath, sparking a heated dispute among the chiefs. And that no one was bothered in the slightest about Antu. By the time anyone noticed, he was already gone. How could you lie to me, Amara? You promised you'd make sure the Bloomflower trials went smoothly. Why would you resort to such underhanded tactics?
You think I had a choice? As soon as one person broke the rules, the whole thing became a free-for-all. playing by the rules gets you nowhere in this world. If I hadn't taken things into my own hands, another tribe would have just swooped in and seized the winnings for themselves. These sacred flame crystals, they have limitless potential. I, for one, wouldn't miss a chance to strengthen our tribe.
I won't debate ethics with you. Where are the sacred flame crystals? Give me some. I'm going to search for Antu.
I've put them all into our research.
You did what?
I did set some aside for Antu in the beginning, but he ran off, didn't he? So there was no longer any need. He's your companion, yes, but the life of a single Saurian is nothing compared to the future of our tribe.
Hear, hear. You've certainly proven yourself a worthy chief, Imara. Your name will no doubt be etched into the hearts of the Flower Feather clan for generations to come. Just remember this. No excuses can hide the harm your greed has inflicted. All the hope and trust that little guy placed in you, placed in me, you'll never know what that feels like.
Wait, Nampal! Where are you going?
Antu! Antu! Antu, it's me! Please, answer me! Antu, are you okay? Oh, look at you out here all on your own. I'm so sorry, Antu. This is all my fault. I'll think of another way. After that, I left the Flower Feather clan and lived here on this hill with Antu. He was running out of time. I took him from tribe to tribe, begging them to spare some sacred flame crystals, our last hope. But no one believed me anymore. I begged them again and again, enduring sneers, insults, even beatings. Until finally, Antu's time came. In those last few days, he seemed consumed by an overwhelming sorrow. And then I realized it wasn't just the sickness weighing him down, no. Remorse filled his gaze. I remember once, over at the Children of Echoes, someone approached us with a sacred flame crystal, flaunting it before quickly putting it away.
Ah, this is what you're after, is it? Dream on. Go beg your brother for some. How many did he snatch up for himself? He's the one who put you up to this whole I'm a victim charade, wasn't he? I don't buy it. What are you little vulture?
For some reason, Antu harbored a deep and intense hatred for the sacred flame crystals. Whenever he saw one, he would muster up every last ounce of his dwindling strength in trying to destroy it. It wasn't until years after Antu's death that I finally guessed at the truth. He must have witnessed people fighting over the crystals without comprehending why. Unable to fathom how those once cheerful humans had turned from best of friends to worst of enemies, he concluded that they must have been corrupted by the sacred flame crystals themselves. In Antu's eyes, the only reason they'd started collecting sacred flame crystals in the first place had been to save his life. If I hadn't been there, none of this would have ever happened. He carried this guilt with him until the very end. I too shall be bound by guilt for the rest of my days. If only I had taken part in the trials myself. If only I'd seen the greed in Amara's eyes, or even came back just a little bit sooner. But the past cannot be undone. I have immersed myself in the study of medicine and spent my life healing all kinds of saurians. I buried Ontu here on this hill, where I too one day shall rest. Before my own time comes, I have recorded all of this on these crudely woven scrolls in the belief that the truth should not lie buried. May those who come long after us learn from our errors, lest they repeat them. May the Natlan of their day be united as one, free once and for all from bloodshed and strife.
Medicine born of guilt.
So the non-pole from the scrolls was Aetha's ancestor? And that little Kukusaur spirit was once his saurian companion?
Seems so. That's why he's been following you around, Aoife. Even though he doesn't like appearing in front of anyone else, he senses something familiar in you. No wonder there weren't any records of the last Bloomflower trials. If anything corrupts the human heart, it's greed. And who'd want to immortalize the memory of a scandal by which all 6 tribes were tainted? The bitter irony is that the sacred flame crystals turned out to be nowhere near as miraculous as they believed. All that scheming, after what proved to be nothing more than a hollow fantasy.
Hey, where's that little Kukusaur going?
Look, over there! Do you think he's sad? Or maybe he's lost in his memories?
Thanks. I might need a breather over here. I regret lingering for centuries, unfolding like this before my eyes. Can't believe I'm just now hearing my ancestor's story. Now I know why we became vets too. I gotta think this through. What should I do? What can I even do? Never thought I'd have the chance to meet my ancestor Saurian companion. It's a pretty cool feeling. Wouldn't you say so, bro?
Can he understand what you're saying?
Kinda. I can pick up on Antu's vibes, just like he catches ours, but that's pretty much it. That's just how it is with Saurian companions. You have to spend a lot of time together to develop an intuitive bond. If my ancestor were here, I'm sure they'd vibe way easier.
In other words, he wouldn't understand even if we discussed everything that went on back then in front of him, right? I'm not even sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think it's probably better if he doesn't understand. I know that running from your problems isn't the way to solve them, and that we should face up to the challenges in our lives. But even if we told him the truth, wouldn't it only distress him more than he already is?
That's right. The people responsible, the ones who should have apologized to him, are no longer around. All the truth would do is tear open old wounds and sadden him all over again.
Isn't there anything we could do to help him forget his sorrow and find hope once more?
Just like Nampol, I've spent a lot of time studying Saurian psychology. They can be a bit slow sometimes, but they're razor sharp at others. They don't get complex human language, but they get a lot just from reading our eyes. In short, young Saurians are just like children. On one hand, they rely on their human companions. On the other, they really want to prove their worth. Helping people makes them happy, and feeling like a burden makes them sad. So, the best move isn't to get stuck on the truth of what happened, but to help make his current wishes come true.
His wishes?
For example, Antu, you decided to stay here because of Milray and Nyan, right? You're a smart kid. Sacred flame crystals are bad, bad things that cause endless arguments among good friends. But now, after hundreds of years, we finally found a way to beat them. Will you join forces with us to cleanse the evil inside them so we can save your buddy together?
Interesting approach. You want to turn a lie into the truth, huh?
Actually, I didn't really understand either. Is there really some kind of evil power inside the sacred flame crystals?
Oh, dear child. Come. Let Granny explain it to you.
Oh, I get it now. Okay, I'll do my best.
Not so fast. Hate to break it to you, but the three of us can't make this happen. Let's meet up at the stadium in 2 days. We'll spread the word and see who's willing to play along. As for making Antu understand, Kakuku can help out. They'll have an easier time communicating.